Hans. I've been meaning to speak to you for a long time.
Well, it's good to talk to you, I think. What do you want to debate today?
I wanted to ask you some things about the black pill, actually,
Okay.
because I saw a debate that you had 2 months ago about the black pill, and I don't really understand your grievance with it. Maybe you need to explain it, expand on it a little bit further.
Are you talking about the black pill or the red pill? Because I don't really
No, no,
talk
no,
about the
the black
black.
pill.
Okay, because I don't really talk about the black pill that much. Like, I don't really have. Isn't it just like every time someone tries to debate me on it, I need them to re-explain it to me because it's not very relevant compared to like the red pill stuff.
It's actually very relevant. It's actually dangerously relevant. It's actually becoming so relevant. Like, have you seen all those looks maxing memes in the past few weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that, right? It's basically an element of the black pill. Like, it's recognizing how important looks are, right, when it comes to dating, especially in the modern dating market, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, it's basically a little bit like that.
Okay, so is this an extension of incels? Because it looks like it when I look it up.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yes, of course, yes. Incels have to do with the black pill.
Okay, well, what do you disagree with?
I don't understand your position because when I watched the video you did with like the guy you were talking to, I guess the only grievance was that it was like kind of depressing, which is I don't know. It's not like really a point against it because the black pill is purely descriptive, right? It's like
No,
atheism a
it's
little
not
bit.
though, because like, isn't it descriptive as in women only care about men's physical appearance?
Uh, in large part, that's a
Right. So
crude
so that's not,
summary.
but that's something that isn't true. Like a lot of women don't actually care only about appearance. So when you say things like that and say, well, this is purely just descriptive, it's not really descriptive because what you're describing is something that is lacking nuance and truth.
Uh, and it's all based on studies, of course, but you can just look at the numbers. You can look at like the male loneliness epidemic. Things are not going good for young men. Things are going good for young women. The
Mhm.
majority of young women are in relationships and the majority of young men aren't, right? There is a problem here at play because something has shifted in the last 50 years that made it more difficult for men in order to get into
Mhm.
relationship
Yeah, a lot of that's
relationships.
called the economy has shifted and has not been adjusting properly for inflation. So we have a disproportionate rate of men right now that live with their parents. And we know that when you live with your parents, your chances of any kind of sexual relationship is going to go down significantly. So it's actually
I don't think.
it's actually well, hold on. I have the study to show that as well. So, yeah, that at least, even if you don't want to say that's not 100% of the reason why, fine. I'm sure there's a lot of different reasons why, but the economy is definitely a very relevant part of it. Not to mention in the
Yeah,
70s, men would make friends by making friends with people they worked with on construction sites and whatnot. Physical labor jobs have also decreased. So a lot of the economy is actually to play at play here.
yes, of course. And it's because women also are now entering the workforce. Women are out earning men. Women are graduating of college
Yeah,
on the
but
higher
wait,
rates
wait,
than
wait, wait,
men.
wait. Hold on. Were women? Do you think women were or do you think men were doing better in like the 70s?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and that's because men had more friendship then because there was a lot more physical labor jobs. Women had already
Yeah,
been wait, hold on. Women had already been well integrated into the workforce at this point.
yes, of course. Let me explain because this is in part with technology, right? And the in the advent of Tinder, all these Hinge, all these hookup apps, right? It's absolutely wrecking the dating market. The social fabric has been completely destroyed.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. We can talk about
Yes,
that
I
in a
am
second.
hearing
And I
what
do,
you're
well,
saying.
hold on, wait. Because I understand what you're saying. Of course, there's something to be said about how Tinder and everything else just talks about looks and whatnot. Fine. But you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're trying to say that part of these issues are because women have entered the workforce and whatnot. And I'm explaining to you that you just told me in the 1970s, you think men were doing better then. And you wouldn't be wrong because men had more jobs and more manufacturing jobs, allowing them to make more friends essentially with other
Yeah,
men,
but
right? And
uh,
but hold on, wait. Women were already in the workforce at this point. So women
you're
being
not
in the
hearing me
workforce
because
had nothing to do with men's happiness.
when I'm bringing up technology, it's totally relevant, right? Because when you're in the workforce, of course you have to socialize, and that's where you're going to make friends, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you can't like compare the social climate of the 1970s to what we have today. We have an incredibly atomized society, right? People
I
don't
was just
even
trying
talk
to
to each
focus
other.
on a specific point. You said
That
something about
we
women
can't.
in the workforce. Did you not? Yes or no?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so all I was saying is in the 1970s, men had better happiness rates, and the male epidemic of loneliness wasn't really a thing. And that's because the manufacturing jobs allowed for men to make more friends, but women were also in the workforce at this point. So
But
women being in
women
the
learn
work,
to work.
so all I was saying is that women in the workforce had nothing to do on men with men's happiness. That's all I was
Because
going to talk. That's all I meant by that.
it's all intermingled, right? We can't say this is only so. I'm trying to give you a little bit of nuance, right? I'm not saying it's only because women enter the workforce, right?
Mhm.
Women didn't earn as much as men then, right? Now they're out earning men, and this is the problem with feminism. It's not that women can work, right?
Mhm.
It's that expectations for women, right? They were relieved, but expectations for men stayed the same. Women are saying that they are struggling to find a partner that earns more than them, right? But because they still have this patriarchal idea that men need to make more than women, right? So the expectations of men has actually increased. Now you
I
have
don't
to
Where though? Like I know there have been some like on the street interviews where women are like, yeah, if
no,
the guy
no,
doesn't make $1 million, then
no,
I'm not gonna. But like,
yeah, no,
where's
yeah,
the
no.
study to support this? Because I can tell you right now that I can show you a study that shows
I
that because of these expectations, first of all, you're right that there are expectations on men, but because of these expectations, that oftentimes is the contributor to relationship rifts and whatnot. For example, if a man loses his job, his likelihood of divorce goes up, not because the woman expects him to be making more, but because he himself internally feels like a shitty failure because now he's not making enough money. And honestly, I don't know why you'd be blaming this on feminism when feminism aims to bring attention to these expectations on men. And it's called
that's what I
toxic
don't
masculinity.
that's what we don't that's what I don't personally see. I don't see like because what feminism does is like deconstructing the patriarchy, everything that hinders women, right? But it doesn't deconstruct everything that like all the expectations of men, right? Because when you look at college, and this is a problem with college age women, right? They will like especially say, oh, we can't find men that are earning more or earning just as much because they don't feel comfortable with a man that earns less than them.
Where though?
That's the patriarchy.
But where?
You can,
Where's this
I
happening?
can
Like, I can
demonstrate.
tell you right now that there used to be
I
a
can
gap.
demonstrate
Wait,
that.
hold on. There used to be a gap here where if the woman was more educated than the man, her likelihood of divorce went up. If the woman made more than the man, her likelihood of divorce went up. Some of this stemmed from the man being insecure, but there were other things there as well. There used to be a gap there. You wouldn't be wrong back in like the 70s, maybe, but that gap is closed now. It's not even a thing
Yeah,
anymore.
but women still expect men to make more than them. That's
Where
the
though?
thing.
That's what I'm saying is what is your
I
evidence for
can
this?
demonstrate that. I can demonstrate that. I can look it up right now. All right, just look up like college aged women expectations. Like it's like a very
Okay, I
genocentric
don't even
thing,
need to look
right?
into that right now because I will just concede that there are expectations on men because I agree with that much of it, of course. So let me
All
ask
right,
you this.
but
Hold on, wait. Do you or do you not
I
agree that
disagree.
feminism talks about toxic masculinity?
Feminism does talk about toxic masculinity. Yes.
Okay, do you know what toxic masculinity is?
I see it like as like those things that like men can't cry or like all
Mhm.
these mental health issues, right, that men are supposed to suppress. I guess.
Right. And so you're kind of right. Toxic masculinity refers to the expectations that are placed on men for how you should be masculine, and those expectations are harmful to the man and to the people around him. I do agree that a lot of the times feminism will sometimes spend too much time being like, well, sometimes that means the man will be violent towards his partner and think of the women, which of course is very important, but there is still something to be said about the man himself. What about him, right? Like when you have these
We are.
expectations, so hold on, wait. When you have
I
these expectations that are toxic to men, their mental well-being, some of them are that you and your worth are contingent on how much money you make. So feminists are bringing attention to this.